Hello students, this video is on Unit 3, lesson Biodiversity and its conservation. So we are going to begin with this lesson. Biodiversity. What does bio mean? Bio means life, and biodiversity, it means variety. Diversity over here means variety. So variety of life species living. Now let's begin with biodiversity. Biodiversity is variety of life on earth. The abundance of various species of plant, animal and microorganisms in natural environment of specific region or country. It includes variability of genes, variety of species and population in different ecosystem. Now let's understand at a very basic level. Basically, it is the variety of all life forms on earth. The different plants, animals, microorganisms and ecosystems of which they are a part. The variety of life on earth, its biological diversity is commonly referred to as biodiversity. In simple terms, students, it's basically two things what I told you. The variety of all life forms on earth is biodiversity, as well as the variety of life on earth, its biological diversity is referred to biodiversity. So, appropriate conservation and sustainable development strategies attempted to recognize this has been an integral part of this biodiversity, as it's a variety. It is the variety and variations in life forms occurring in nature which has sustained the harmonious existence of all living organisms on earth. Now, if you see students, biodiversity is a very popular approach in environmental science, and it is a very important concept in ecology. As a shorthand description of this great variety of life, the term biodiversity is a contraction of biological diversity and was first coined by Walter Rosen for the 1986 National Forum on Biodiversity. It is the variety of life on earth which includes variation at all levels of biological organization, from genes to species to ecosystem. Actually, it may also be defined as the totality of different organisms, the genes they contain, the ecosystems they form. It can be also defined as the variability among living organisms from all the sources, including terrestrial, marine and other aquatic ecosystems and ecological complexes, whatever is present between species and of ecosystems. The variety of plants and animals and other living things in a particular area or region means biodiversity. It is important because plant and animal species interact and depend upon one another for food, shelter, oxygen and soil enrichment. It is a term referring to the variety of living things that make up our environment. Each different life form is connected in some way to the survival of all other life forms in a given area. Here, students, every plant, animal, fungi and microscopic organism is a part of this biodiversity. All the living things, the biotic components, you can say, is a part of this network, forming what is known as an ecosystem. We already know what is an ecosystem. The more biodiversity that exists, the better for. Now, what is the magnitude of biodiversity? When we talk about the magnitude of biodiversity, it is like we are talking about the total number of species in this planet is estimated to be 14 million. What is the value of biodiversity over here? Biodiversity provides us food, timber, fiber, medicine, fuel. As a source of food, what is it? Plants, we know, autotrophs, heterotrophs. plants, there are about 3,000 species of food plants, out of which only 150 species are commercialized. Plant provides wide variety of food like maize, wheat and rice. So if you look at food, they are these all wild plants or all what is there in the biodiversity, they are consumed by human beings as food. Now about 80,000 of these edible plant species have been reported from the forests, and today's times 90% of present day crops have been domesticated from the tropical plants. Then when you look at it as animal value, man consumes meat from mainly nine species of animal like cattle, sheep, pig, goat, water buffaloes, chickens, duck, geese and turkeys. Now fishes are regarded as domesticated animal because of development of aquaculture. Now if you see from this, curd, cheese, milk are obtained from these dairy farms. So you can see all this as from animal point of view also, it has a lot of importance. Each specific habitat type such as the wetlands requires a dedicated sector of the conservation effort. Coral reefs are the rainforests of the ocean. The Great Barrier for example contains 3,000 animal species. So this is a part of the biodiversity. Medicinal value as drugs and medicine. Some species explored for drug and medicine. So drugs and medicine, now if we elaborate on this, biodiversity provides plants for drugs and medicines. About 75% of the world population depends upon plants and plant extracts for medicines. Now if you see the common and the most known drug, penicillin, used as an antibiotic, is derived from a fungus called Penicillium. We get tetracycline from a bark of cinchona tree. Digitaline effective cure for heart ailments is obtained from foxglove. So these are different types of plants from which we get medicines which are used for very terminal diseases. Recently, vincristine is a 2 anti-cancer alkaloids. So there are a lot of marine animals also which possess anti-cancer properties which are yet to be explored. So this is also one aspect of the importance of biodiversity. When we talk about the value also, you can consider it as importance. Now the consumptive use value, if I look at it, what is the consumptive use value? It is the direct use value of the consumptive use, that is the use of products of consumptive use value for direct human consumption. When I talk consumptive use value, I am talking about in terms of direct human consumption. Biodiversity provides a number if products have consumptive use value such as food, drugs, fiber, which have consumptive value. As I told you all, food, plants, animals, drugs and medicines. So they have some value. Sources of fats and oil. Nowadays, most commonly used oilseed plant like mustard, groundnut, palm oil. The other oil like soybean, binola, cottonseed, sunflower are becoming popular. Now students, looking at the diets, the kind of diets which we follow, there are a lot of different oil which have come in. Olden times, what our grandparents used to do, they used to use mustard oil, groundnut oil and basic oils which were directly from the flowers of certain plants. Now you have a variety of those, rice bran oil, cold compressed oils. So all these are also a part of diversity. So it acts as a source of fats and oil. Sunflower, the other oil like soybean, binola, sunflower are becoming popular. As fibers, we know we've heard about jute quite a bit. We've heard about cotton, flax, all of that. So major fiber yielding varieties are cotton, flax, jute, all of that is also there. Now when I look about it as in productive use value, what does that mean? When I talk about productive use value, it is the commercial usable value. There is consumptive use value which I spoke about, as humans consume. Now this is commercially usable value, where the product can be marketed and sold. Certain fibers are sold in the market. A number of wild gene resources can be traded for those scientists for introducing these crops. Suppose you talk about the animal tusks, the tusks of elephants, the musk of the deer, the silk from silkworms, wool from sheep, fur from fur bearing animals. Now students, we have a lot of leather jackets which the best and best of fashion labels make these jackets or these purses from, handbags from these uh, few animals. There are crocodile skin, there is elephant, there's deer skin, tiger skin prints. So all of this have productive use value. Lac from lac insects can be traded into the market. Example, paper industry, plywood industry, textile industry, leather industry, I gave you an example. So this also acts some productive use value. New disease resistant varieties. Now, when we talk about this, some commercial species of food plants are susceptible to certain diseases. These species can be made resistant to particular disease by crossbreed. Example, potato has been made resistant to late blight by deriving a resistant strain from Solandum demicin. I spoke to you all about drug and medicine also. What we can understand from this, a number of herbs have been used to cure various ailments. Various plants contain valuable drugs. Rose periwinkle is used for treatment of cancer. We know tulsi. In these corona times, we have heard about tulsi and its benefits. We have heard about giloy. We've heard about different shrubs also which are available, the brahmi, the avla, all of that. Quinine is used for the treatment of malaria. Now this particular quinine is used for the treatment of malaria, is also a part of the corona vaccine. So this has helped us a lot. You can see the importance of all these drugs through the plants, what we get, the medicinal plants, what we get through these medicinal drugs, what we get through these plants, how important it is. So we need to conserve the biodiversity. So it's important to understand the biodiversity. The importance of herbal plant for ailment of various diseases was discussed on ancient scriptural Ayurveda. Now, if you talk about Ayurveda, a lot of things have been spoken about Ayurveda, where Tulsi, Brahmi, Avla, all of these are from Ayurvedic source. These are Ayurvedic sources wherein they have a lot of benefits and a lot of medicinal value. Now, beautification value, what do you mean by beautification value? That is aesthetical value also you can call. Biodiversity provides lots of aesthetic and beautification value. Human beings is fond of maintaining garden, keeping pets, ecotourism. We go for a lot of agri-tourisms nowadays. We know there's one-day trips which we go by nearby, where these agri-resorts are there. So that has come out quite a lot. We go to various hill stations. Kullu Manali National Park is the Kaziranga Park, the Zoological Garden which is there in Carthage, sanctuaries, bird sanctuaries in Bangkok we know of, to watch scenic beauties, Vrindavan Gardens we know. So all of that. Now when I talk about aesthetical value also, the earth's natural beauty has always inspired man from time to time. The diverse plant life and its innumerable and diverse fauna bring the earth to life. In nature today, we are surrounded by nature. Yes, all of that is being misused and abused. We are well aware of that. But the beauty has to be valued, students. That means the aesthetic value is attached to the biodiversity. You can say that there is aesthetic value to the biodiversity. Nobody likes to visit vast stretches of barren lands with no signs of visible life. You go to barren lands where you see no kind of life existing, no kind of beauty which can be appreciated, and of no help. So these kind of things we wouldn't want to see. People spend a lot of time and money to visit only places where they can enjoy the aesthetic value of biodiversity. Valley of Flowers in Uttarakhand is one famous place which one can visit, as it has a lot of aesthetic value. There are a lot of mountaineers, people who trek, go to these places. The aesthetic value that we attach to the natural environment is an important reason for saving our biodiversity. Now students, beautification, we can go on and on. In our own country, when we talk about aesthetic value, Kerala for that matter, it's known for its backwaters. If they are not conserved, or if they are not protected, and if they are not maintained, so this is something you wouldn't want to go to Kerala. And if the climate, because of climate change, things are already going the wrong way. If you go to Manali, the hill stations, the beauty of that, it's so serene. So all of that is something you spend money for. Why do you go for a vacation? You go for a vacation specially to appreciate the beauty, to get that peace, to appreciate what is there around, which you've probably not seen in your nearby surroundings. So aesthetic value is definitely attached to the value of biodiversity. Then cultural benefit. Cultural benefit or ethical benefit also you can say. Since the ancient time, our culture and festivals were associated with various plants and animals. Example, banyan tree, people, tulsi have been worshipped by women in India. Now there are special festivals during Shravan, what we see, where people celebrate, that's Vata Purnima, which is definitely they, for the long lives of their husband, they take a thread and go around the tree, worshipping it as God. And these trees have their own relevance. People tree, there are people in Hinduism, they lit the diyas. Tulsi, we all know, it's not only medicinal, but it has value of worship through Lord Krishna. Banana tree, as some animal like cow is considered a mother. Now banana trees also, when we give the prasads, or we are serving certain things to the brahmacharis or the priests, we serve them on banana trees. It is supposed to be very pious. Cow is definitely considered great symbol of worship in Hinduism and in many other religions also. Some animals and plants are considered as national symbol, like peacock, we know. National animal, tiger. National flower, lotus. National tree, banyan. Now, if I talk about social value, this is social value, cultural benefit also. If I say, it is associated with the social life, the customs, the religion, the psycho-spiritual aspects of the people. As I said, with what we've grown, how have we been groomed by our parents or grandparents. Now, many of these plants, as I said, they're considered sacred. The neem also, neem tree also has some relevance. The mango leaves are, especially when you make these garlands during Diwali and you put them during Dashera, these mango leaves have a lot of relevance. Lotus tree is for Ma Saraswati. These all things make a lot of difference. The dances and customs are closely woven around the wildlife, the social life. People who are in tribal areas, remotely located, they also worship, as well as they have maintained this kind of life. Many animals like cows, snakes, bull, pulak have significance. Now snakes, also snakes, we have a special day called Nag Panchami, which is celebrated. Bulls, we know during harvest season how it's for associated with farming. So all of that have significance in our psycho-spiritual arena. So the biodiversity here also has a distinct social value, which is attached with different societies. Coming to the ethical value. Now, ethical value is sometimes known as existence value, involves ethical issues like all life must be preserved. Today's time, students, we don't know what is right, what is wrong, what is to be taken into our body, what is not to be misused, or probably we are aware, we just don't want to listen to our heart. It is based on the concept live and let live. There are animal activists who are working for this. There are PETA type organizations. There is Red Cross who's working on humanitarian grounds to help places who are people who are just dislocated in the most low developed or less developed countries. So this, all these organizations are there to do their work, to do their bit. Now, if I look at this, if you want our human race to survive, we must protect our biodiversity. Definitely in biodiversity, it's plants and animals, which have a big chunk in the diversity. And these both are valuable to man. Our existence without one is just very difficult. So the ethical value also means that we may or may not use a species, but knowing the fact that this species exists in nature gives us pleasure. You'll have seen some species which have become extinct or are going to be extinct. We have that desire to look forward to them, and we wait for those opportunities where we can just go ahead and appreciate their beauty. So we should not get to that stage where these animals or plants become extinct. Man holds great responsibility towards preserving and conserving other organisms. We have got more benefits than the other two living organisms, wherein we can play an integral part in conserving and preserving our energy. Ecologists and philosophers hold the view that we have a moral binding or a moral obligation. Yes, we do have a moral binding or an obligation to preserve our organisms, because extinction of other living organisms will threaten the very existence of man. You all know of so many animals which are extinct now. We hardly see them. We've heard about the white tigers also. So there was Project Tiger which came up to protect the tigers. Now suppose we are not deriving much benefit from kangaroo, zebra or giraffe, but all of these should exist in nature. You can't say they are of no use, so I don't want them. They have their own beauty. Just if you go to a park and you have a look at these animals, it gives you a you feel happy looking at them. Their structure, the way they deal with things, how do they live, all of that, how they look beautiful amongst nature. So means there is ethical value or existence value in each species. This is the beautification value. The aesthetic value, as I told, this is the aesthetic value. Now the ecological role. Before I come to this, let us understand the option value of this. As fuel also I can say the forests have been used since ages for fuel wood. Now in olden times, yes, before the cylinders and everything came into picture, all of these were the wood and all were used to burn or to cook food for various reasons. They were burned. Now these fossil fuels, the fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and natural gas are products of fossiling the biodiversity. If I talk about the option value, suppose option value, now it includes the potentialities of biodiversity that is presently unknown and but that can be explored. Now there is a possibility that we may have some potential cure. We don't have 100% cure for many illnesses, but potential cure for AIDS or cancer existing within the depths of marine ecosystem or tropical rainforest. Thus, the option value, when I talk about option value, it is the value of knowing that there are biological resources existing in the biosphere that may one day prove to be an effective option for something important in future. When I talk about option value, we may not or we may have certain cures for certain diseases. But here when we talk about option value, I repeat, option value is the value of knowing that there are biological resources existing in the biosphere that may one day prove to be an effective option for something important in the future. Thus, the option value of biodiversity, what does it suggest? That any species may prove to be useful any day or someday. The biodiversity, in short, is precious gift of nature presented to us. So it's our responsibility to preserve and conserve it and appreciate it. We should not commit the folly of losing these gifts before unwrapping them. Then when we talk about the legal value, now legal value, wherein if you talk, it is not only a home to us. This earth, planet earth, is not only a home to us, it is a home to the n number, the million number of species with reference to plants and animals, but it is a home to all other lives also. So all other lives equally have a right as do we have. We have to guarantee to them the right to exist. That's what I have been saying. Killing animals depleting the resources through because of our desires and wants and needs won't make sense. So there arises a need for attaching legal value to biodiversity. Until and unless you don't be accountable for your deeds as human beings, you will not be able to protect in today's times. So it is not possible to check the rapid extinction of many valuable species. Then when I talk about economic value, what is economic value? As I said, now biodiversity has economic value. That means the economic welfare of the people and their nation depends upon the biotic resources. As we all know, it depends on the natural resources which are available in a particular area. Every day we use these thousands of products which whose source is biodiversity. When biodiversity and I talk, it is plants and animals simply. It may be noted that the welfare of people and nation depends on how nicely and intelligently they use these biotic resources. So economic value also is a part of biodiversity. Then last we come to is ecological value. When I talk about ecological value, now biodiversity is indispensable for prevention of soil erosion, prevention of floods, maintenance of soil fertility, cycling of nutrients, fixation of nitrogen, pollution absorbent, reduction of threat of global warming. It is also necessary for maintaining the ecological value. What does this mean? Biodiversity holds great ecological value. Species diversity, the variety of species which are present, they are essential for the survival and functioning of our ecosystem of the world. Now, even the slightest changes which have been made by man, you all can see the repercussions. Who are the sufferers? We as human beings. So, all these slightest changes which have been made by man in the delicately fabricated ecological balance, if well maintained, can lead to positive results, and if not, can lead to severe short term, long term problems which can in turn be a threat to the survival of our existence. So when I spoke about ecological value here, protection of water resources, forest and plant cover in water catchments area, to maintain the hydrological cycle. We are well aware of hydrological cycle, we've studied last year in first year BA. Regulating and stabilizing water runoff, acting as a buffer against natural calamities like flood and drought. Forest increase the water table, regeneration of natural springs. Example, wetland and forest act as a water purifying system, while mangroves trap, still reducing impact of sea waves, tides or tsunamis. So this what we discussed right now is the value of diversity. Somewhere it's importance of diversity, biodiversity in terms of consumption value, production value, social value, ethical value, aesthetical value, option value, legal value as fuel, drug and medicine, economic value, and last the ecological value. Soil formation and protection also. Clearing of forest leads to salinization of soil, leaching of nutrient erosion. This is also one way of how soil formation should be protected. Reducing of land productivity. If it is not conserved, soil can be preserved by maintaining biodiversity, retaining moisture, preventing erosion. If you protect soil, you are maintaining biodiversity as you are retaining moisture and you are preventing erosion. It's as simple as that. Plant body provides organic matter to soil through decay. Root system facilitate microbial activity and increase porosity of soil. Porosity is pore. Nutrient storage and cycling. All the nutrients are recycled in nature. These nutrients found in air, water and soil. Plant take up these nutrients from air, water, soil, which enter in animal's body through food chain. We all are aware of the food chain and the food webs. After the death of plant and animals, those nutrients come back in the environment through decomposition process, decomposers, which is carried out by whom? The bacteria and the fungi. Now these bacteria and fungi, they convert the atmospheric nitrogen, which is already present in the air, into what? Nitrate, nitrite, through biological nitrogen fixation. We know about rhizobium. It's a leguminous relationship. It is one of the nitrogen fixing bacteria living in the nodules of root of leguminous plants. Maintaining climate stability. Vegetation affect climate at micro and macro level, at a smaller or at a bigger level. Dense, that is thick forest, promotes rainfall by recycling of water vapor. It helps in reducing pollution. Different kind of bacteria, fungi and protozoa are well known for the decomposition and breakdown of microorganisms. These microorganisms absorb the pollutant like sewage, garbage and oil spills. Natural and artificial wetlands are being used to filter effluent to remove nutrients. Maintenance of ecosystem. Definitely biodiversity plays a very important role in maintaining the ecosystem. All species are equally important in our ecosystem. Disruption of one species can lead to destruction of whole ecosystem. Just few minutes ago I had told you all that plants and animals, both of them are needed for our survival. If one living species also gets disturbed, man's survival becomes very difficult. Now, according to the food chain and food web, all species of plants and animals are interrelated with each other. We know of this. You all can go through this. It's talking about the food chain and how they are dependent on one another. I'll just read out the first one. Plant, deer, lion. If the population of lion is destroyed, the population of deer can increase in excess, and overpopulation of deer will eat up whole grasses in grassland ecosystem, thus making it degraded ecosystem. Forests regulate. We know the importance of forests in an ecosystem. They regulate oxygen and carbon dioxide cycles. They play important role in cycling of nutrients. Surviving from natural calamities. Now we know of many natural calamities, the cyclones, the volcanoes, the earthquakes, the droughts, the floods, typhoons, landslides, all of this, which are unpredictable. And they prove to be hazardous for all human beings. One earthquake and it can destroy a lot of many years of your life, wherein you are just trying hard to settle back again. Natural calamities, we know they cause loss of lives, properties and buildings. Forests, in fact, they act as a buffer against all these calamities, as it helps in controlling the floods, cyclone and typhoons. Mangroves. Now, when we talk about mangroves also, they are salt-tolerant forest ecosystems found mainly in tropical and subtropical intertidal regions of the world. They are trees or shrubs that have a common trait of growing in shallow and muddy salt water or brackish water, that is saline water, especially along quiet shorelines and in estuaries. They exhibit remarkable capacity for salt water tolerance. Look at this. These are mangroves when we talk about mangroves. Other services of biodiversity. Activity of earth warm, aerate the soil and increase the nutrient content in soil. The soil bacteria increases the availability of atmospheric nitrogen to the plants. We all know that this happens due to the decomposers. The microbes degrade complex organic matter to simpler form. They help in pollination. For example, bats pollinate wild bananas, guava. Same way bees pollinate flowers. Look at the way how these plants are helping the biodiversity. Different animals and plants have a different role to play in our existence. Bacteria or microorganisms increase the moisture holding capacity of soil. Scientific value. Now we look at the scientific value. The study of wildlife provides valuable knowledge about various life processes. Such studies has helped scientists to understand how the human body functions. These all studies what have been conducted by various scientists helps them to understand how this human body functions and what are the solutions if certain things don't work for human beings or mankind. They have also gained medical knowledge because of this biodiversity. They have discovered important medical produce by studying wildlife. In addition, by observing the effect of environmental pollution on wild animals, scientists have learned how pollution affects human life. See, there are a lot of tests which are done. When they are done in laboratories, they are first done on mice. So somewhere all of this is for what? For our security, for our betterment of life. Flora. India can be divided into 8 floristic regions. All of these, Western Himalaya, Eastern Himalayas. Think of the Indian map and think of these places. Most of them you all are well aware of. Assam, Indus Plain, the Ganga Plain, the Deccan, Malabar, Andaman, the Western Himalaya region extend from Kashmir to Kumaon. Now, when we talk about the classification of biodiversity, it is the species diversity. Diversity of species within community. The biotic component of ecosystem consists of large number of plant and animal species which interact with each other. See, they have an interrelation. Animals and plants have somewhere an interrelation which is quite deep rooted, and they interact with each other and they interact with the abiotic components also. The richness of species in an ecosystem is called species diversity. This diversity is seen both in natural ecosystem and in agricultural ecosystem. Now, when we talk about species diversity means what? The number, I am talking about the number of species of plants and animals that are present in a region which constitute to species diversity. It is a variety of number and richness of species of a region. For example, in grassland ecosystem, there exist different species of plants and animals. Coming to ecosystem diversity. When I talk about ecosystem diversity, there are a large variety of different ecosystems on earth. We are well aware of them, and which complement or have distinctive interlinked species based on their habitat. Now, ecosystem diversity here can be described as for a geographic region or a political entity such as a country, a state, or a taluka. And distinctive ecosystems include landscapes such as forests, grasslands, deserts, mountains, as well as aquatic ecosystems. When we talk about aquatic ecosystems, we are talking about rivers, lakes, marines, oceans. Each region also has modified areas such as grazing pastures or farmland. So over here, when I talk about ecosystem, it is different type of forest, grasslands, oceans, ponds, lake, which represent diverse ecosystem and contain a variety of plants and animals. Here we already know that an ecosystem is referred to as natural when it is undisturbed by human activities or modified when it is changed to other types of uses, where if you can call for urbanization, it has been modified to according to our convenience. So through human activities, urbanization has taken place. Now, ecosystems here, they are most natural in wilderness areas. If they are overused or misused, their productivity decreases. We all know, and they are said to be degraded. And as a country, we know that India is exceptionally rich in the ecosystems. We just now saw the 8 distinct floristic flora regions, all of this. So you can imagine our country being diverse wherein the flora part is concerned. Last is the genetic diversity. When I talk about the genetic diversity, it includes the amount of genetic variability among individuals of same species or among different species. In our ecosystem, there exists large variety of species which slightly differ from each other in form of characteristic size, shape, resistance against pests, insects, pest diseases. It refers to variation of genes within species. It's talking about the genes within the species. Diversity in number and type of genes as well as chromosomes present in different species. Now, when I talk about genetic diversity, what do we understand of this? Each member of any animal or plant species differs widely because of its genetic makeup and because a large number of combinations which are possible that give every individual a specific characteristics. So this is basically talking about genetic diversity. The diversity in wild species forms the gene pool from where our crops and domestic animals have been developed over thousands of years. So students, today what I have spoken about in this lecture, definition of biodiversity was done. The value of biodiversity, in a way importance of biodiversity was discussed. The concept of biodiversity was spoken to you all in detail. The different types of biodiversity was done in this lecture. Thank you, class.